Welcome to the 1970s, when samurai cinema sharpened its blade, dipped it in blood, and slashed through tradition like a ronin with nothing left to lose. Forget the stoic duels of the 50s. This was the decade where Bushido met exploitation, where honor clashed with savagery, and where limbs were optional. Today we're slicing through some of the most brutal samurai films of the 1970s. She's beautiful, she's deadly, and she was literally born for revenge. Lady Snowblood tells the story of Yuki, a woman conceived in prison for one purpose, to avenge the and murder of her family. Trained from childhood in the art of assassination, she wields her parasol like a scalpel, slicing through corrupt officials and war criminals with icy precision. It isn't just the violence that sets Lady Snowblood apart, though there's plenty of that. It's the style. Each kill is a work of art. Snowflakes fall as blood sprays, hallways become rivers of red, and Meiko Kaji's stone-cold stare could kill you before the blade even gets there. It's a revenge film, a political allegory, and a blood-drenched feminist statement, all wrapped in kabuki theatrics and Edo period elegance. You don't simply watch Lady Snowblood, you witness her. If Lady Snowblood was surgical, Lone Wolf and Cub Baby Cart to Hades is full-on arterial warfare. This third film in the iconic series follows Ogami Ito, disgraced shogunate executioner turned wandering assassin, and his infant son Daigoro, as they trudge the bloody path of vengeance. And in this entry, Ito shows just how far he'll go to uphold his brutal code. He volunteers to be tortured, on purpose. He hangs upside down in silence as bamboo pole slashes skin, then calmly continues his journey of merciless slaughter. The action is choreographed like kabuki blood ballet. Limbs fly, swords slice deep, and Daigoro watches it all with unsettling calm from his baby carts, which, by the way, has hidden weapons. Baby Cart to Hades hits like a solemn death march, slow, deliberate, and soaked in blood. Ogami Ito doesn't hesitate. He endures, he rises, and then he kills everyone in his path. Now for something completely unhinged. Hanzo the Razor is what happens when you take a hard-boiled cop drama, set it in Edo period Japan, and crank every dial to 11. Then break the dial off and beat someone with it. Shintaro Katsu plays Hanzo Itami, a rogue lawman who believes in justice so fiercely he tortures himself every morning just to prove he can handle pain. He's a sword-swinging masochist with a moral code, an iron will, and interrogation methods that are, well, disturbingly hands-on. When Hanzo draws his blade, it's not a duel, it's a one-sided execution. Bones crack, arteries spray, and bad guys beg for mercy while he barely flinches. It's sleazy, savage, and soaked in blood and sweat. You won't know whether to cheer, gasp, or take a long, uncomfortable shower. If most samurai films are about honor and revenge, Shura is about what happens when you lose both, and all that's left is madness. Also known as demons, this pitch-black descent into paranoia follows a ronin who falls for a geisha, only to be betrayed, humiliated, and finally consumed by violence. From there, it's a slow, agonizing slide into obsession, murder, and total mental collapse. The swordplay is sparse, but when it hits, it's brutal. No choreographed duels, no clean kills, just clumsy, bloody stabbings and bodies left to rot. Shot in stark black and white with almost no score, Demons feels like a fever dream of guilt and rage. By the time the final scene fades out, you'll feel like you've witnessed a soul disintegrate. Sometimes samurai films are subtle, sometimes they're philosophical, and sometimes Sonny Chiba rolls into the Sengoku period with a helicopter and a machine gun. G.I. Samurai, also known as Time Slip, is a genre-bending explosion of sci-fi and swordplay. A squad of Japanese self-defense forces soldiers gets transported 400 years into the past, smack in the middle of a samurai civil war. What follows is one of the most gloriously unfair battles ever filmed. Modern weapons mowed down waves of armored warriors, until the film flips the script, and the samurai start fighting back with sheer fury and strategy. This isn't one-on-one duels in the moonlight. It's mass combat, bodies flying, history splintering. And Chiba, he's in full warlord mode, grunting, slashing, commanding, and occasionally contemplating the morality of mowing down ancestors. Samurai versus M16s, honor versus hardware. You've never seen anything like it, and probably never will again. You've heard the story before. 47 loyal ronin avenge their master, then commit seppuku as a final act of honor. But you haven't seen it like this. The fall of Akko Castle takes that legendary tale and filters it through the furious lens of director Kenji Fukasaku, the mastermind behind Battle Royale and Yakuza Papers. Sonny Chiba plays a fiery, hot-headed samurai who can't stand the politics, the hesitation, or the hypocrisy. And when the swords come out, he means it. Gone are the slow, polite duels. In their place, full-on massacres, street battles, and blade-choked vengeance that spills across snowy rooftops and dimly lit corridors. The final raid on Kira's mansion is a samurai apocalypse. Dozens of bodies, frantic sword clashes, and a crescendo of blood-soaked justice. These aren't noble martyrs. They're men pushed to the edge, and this is their swan song. When the Shogun dies, two sons vie for power. Enter the Yagyu clan, elite swordsmen, royal bodyguards, and manipulators behind the throne. Shogun Samurai is what happens when political intrigue meets full-throttle bloodshed. Directed by Kenji Fukasaku, it's a period drama wrapped in a conspiracy thriller, with samurai slicing throats as fast as alliances shift. You've got betrayal, espionage, secret duels, ambushes in the streets, and assassinations that turn entire palaces into charnel houses. And leading the charge is Sonny Chiba as Yagyu Jubei, the one-eyed swordsman with enough rage and skill to tear through armies and entire bloodlines. This isn't about honor, it's about survival. And by the time the dust settles, the samurai code is left in pieces on the tatami mat. If Lady Snowblood is elegant revenge, Blind Woman's Curse is revenge on acid. This cult classic stars Meiko Kaji as Akemi, leader of a Yakuza clan. Each member of her clan bears a piece of a massive dragon tattoo. But when Akemi accidentally blinds the sister of an enemy during a sword fight, she unleashes a curse. A black cat licks the blood, people start dying, and someone's going around skinning the dragon tattoos right off her gang. This thing is drenched in style and gore. Sword duels erupt in fog, gangsters scream as their tattoos are peeled from their skin, and vengeance flows like stage blood. It's not a pure samurai film, it's more of a blood-splattered Yakuza horror hybrid, but the swordplay is vicious, the atmosphere is thick, and Kaji slices through enemies like she's auditioning for the underworld. It's brutal, it's bizarre, it's unforgettable. Before anyone swings a sword, Sex and Fury gives you a gambler, a grudge, and a world of corruption waiting to be cut open. Reiko Ike stars as Ocho, a gambler and swordswoman hunting down the people who killed her father. Along the way, she crosses corrupt officials, violent gangs, and even a mysterious British spy played by cult icon Christina Lindbergh, best known for her role in thriller A Cruel Picture. And then comes that scene. Ocho, bloodied and naked, slicing her way through a gang of thugs in the snow. No armor, no hesitation, just pure vengeance and a katana that doesn't care about modesty. Sex and Fury lives up to both halves of its title, a psychedelic blend of pinky violence, Chanbara, and grindhouse excess. It may not be traditional samurai cinema, but Ocho's blade earns her a place in the blood-splattered Hall of Fame. The 1970s took the samurai mythos, dragged it through the mud, and dunked it in a bucket of stage blood. Honor still mattered, but so did mayhem. These films didn't bow, they bled, and they paved the way for everything from Tarantino to Takashi Miike. Which of these bloody tales is your favorite? Did I miss a particularly brutal one? Drop your picks in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your katana clean.